Gemini, you may not realize this, but right at this moment, somewhere out there, your name is being spoken. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in the kind of quiet tone that makes people tilt their head and wonder, when did Gemini change? And why does their energy feel so powerful now? There's a new frequency radiating from you. Gentle, yet sharp. Soft, yet unforgettable. Like a breeze carrying a message you haven't fully unfolded yourself. People feel it. They notice you're no longer the version of yourself they used to know. But they can't explain why. All they know is that when you walk into a space, something shifts in the air. And this unnameable change is exactly what's making you the topic of curiosity more than ever before. Not because of drama, not because anyone has bad intentions, but because you're truly transforming, as if a door inside you has opened. And a completely new Gemini is stepping out, freer, truer, unapologetic about who you are becoming. This energy is beautiful, but it also leaves some people unsettled, unsure how to face the version of you that no longer fits inside their old expectations. Gemini, before we go deeper into the journey the universe is quietly arranging for you, if you feel this energy in your bones, leave a simple comment. I can feel the shift. Let me know you too are walking into this powerful transformation. And remember to like and subscribe so you won't miss any of the messages ahead. Messages designed to help you understand yourself on a deeper, almost sacred level. Now, sit somewhere comfortable. Pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, whatever soothes your spirit. Because we're about to begin a very special story, one you've been waiting for, perhaps far longer than you realize. Part 1. Gemini's energy is shifting powerfully, and people are talking about it. Gemini, lately, have you felt something strange happening within you? Not a loud change, not a dramatic turning point, but a very subtle, very gentle, very hard to describe shift, yet undeniably real, as if a new wave of energy is rising from inside you, slow but strong, and you don't completely understand where it's leading you. But others see it. They notice the change before you fully see it in yourself. The truth is, your energy is shifting in a way people can't ignore. Not because of drama, not because anyone has bad intentions, but because you're truly transforming, as if a door inside you has opened. And a completely new Gemini is stepping out, freer, truer, unapologetic about who you are becoming. This energy is beautiful, but it also leaves some people unsettled, unsure how to face the version of you that no longer fits inside their old expectations. Gemini, before we go deeper into the journey the universe is quietly arranging for you, if you feel this energy in your bones, leave a simple comment. I can feel the shift. Let me know you too are walking into this powerful transformation. You may still act the same. You may still smile, still talk, still care about others. But what they're sensing isn't in your words or actions. It's in the frequency you're unconsciously radiating. A frequency that is strong, direct, sharp, and unapologetic about existing. Gemini, the universe sometimes changes someone with the smallest of signs. A new thought that appears the moment you wake up. A sudden desire to let go of something that used to hold you down. A powerful intuition telling you that you can't pretend anymore. A strange breeze making you realize you've grown deeper, stronger, and no longer fit inside your old shell. You may not be able to name all these things yet, but the people observing you, they feel it clearly. They feel your silence is no longer submission. They feel your smile is no longer compliance. They feel your kindness is no longer something they can take advantage of. They feel your intelligence is no longer limited by what they expect. Gemini is no longer asking for permission, no longer waiting to be understood, no longer trying to be easy to read so others feel comfortable. no longer shrinking yourself just to keep the peace. A door is opening inside you quietly, softly, but loud enough to make the entire world around you shift. And this is what everyone is talking about. You're becoming more honest with yourself. And that disrupts anyone who used to benefit from your uncertainty. Before, they were familiar with the Gemini who was reasonable, gentle, not wanting trouble, the one who always tried to balance everything for everyone else. But now, they don't know how you'll respond. They're not sure you'll bend anymore. They can't read your thoughts like they used to. You're more mysterious, deeper, more unpredictable. And that unpredictability is drawing attention, whether they admit it or not. Because, my dear Gemini, you're awakening, a quiet but intensely powerful process, one that's awakening the truest version of you. Not the cute version meant to make others comfortable. Not the logical version you use to hide your hurt. Not the funny version you use to avoid your real emotions. But the honest, self-possessed, clear, magnetic version of you that you once buried so others wouldn't feel threatened. The universe is bringing you back to yourself, and when that happens, those around you feel it before you do. Gemini, if you can feel yourself stepping into a new energetic space, leave a short comment. I can feel the shift, so I know you're aligned with this message. And remember to like and subscribe, so we can continue this journey together. Keep your cup of tea or coffee next to you, because the next parts will touch the places inside you that you may have never spoken out loud. Part 2. Gemini's awakening is revealing whose connections were never real. Gemini. When your energy begins to rise, the first thing that changes isn't your life, your work, or your plans. It's your relationships. And sometimes, that is the hardest part of awakening because it forces you to see truths you used to avoid. Have you noticed how strangely some people have been acting toward you lately? Some are suddenly distant. Some try to drag you back into your old soft, easygoing version. Some become irritated simply because you finally dared to express your real feelings. Some go silent, but you can feel deep down that something isn't the same anymore. And then there are those who reveal sides of themselves you never thought they had. None of this is random. It's happening because your frequency has changed. For a long time, you were used to making things easy. You compromised. You smiled. You softened every atmosphere. You stayed quiet so no one would be hurt. You accepted less so peace could stay. But when the awakening begins, when your heart knows you can't keep living like that, when your soul pushes you to become more honest with yourself, those who benefited from your softness begin to feel threatened. Not because you've become worse, but because you no longer let them use your kindness as a convenience. My dear Gemini, the painful truth is this. Some relationships only felt peaceful because you were always the one holding everything together. You always let things slide. You were the first to stop the argument, the first to apologize, the first to fix things. But the moment you stop bending, they can no longer hide. Their real intentions become visible, and sometimes that truth isn't beautiful at all. Some are offended because you stopped giving them special treatment. Some feel disrespected because you dared to question something. Some say you're colder, more distant, when really, you're simply protecting your boundaries. Some complain that Gemini has changed, as if your growth is an inconvenience to them. But here's what you need to understand. People only get upset when you stop letting them take advantage of the place you gave them in your life. They're uncomfortable because you are finally seeing what you once refused to see. You turned the lights on in the dark room of your relationships. And in that light, you see clearly who is genuine and who was only around when it benefited them, who loves you for who you are, and who only loved the convenience you provided, who respects you as a whole human being, and who wants you forever trapped in the box they built for you. You didn't change to become worse. You changed to become honest. And honesty, even when spoken softly, is enough to make the insincere feel exposed. This is why you're noticing certain shifts. The ones who used to come to you only when they needed something are gone. The ones who relied on you always being cheerful and accommodating now feel lost. The ones who took advantage of your emotional flexibility don't know how to handle your boundaries. Gemini, don't mistake this as loss. It is cleansing. The universe never takes what belongs to you. What leaves during this phase is what was draining you, long before you realized it. When you awaken, the inauthentic falls away on its own. Relationships built on convenience crumble. People who were selfish stand exposed. And those who are sincere, even if there are fewer of them, become infinitely more valuable. Remember this: not everyone who leaves is a loss. Sometimes it is liberation. If you feel yourself seeing your relationships more clearly lately, leave a short comment. I'm awakening. And make sure to subscribe, because as we go deeper, you'll uncover truths about yourself that you've ignored for far too long. Part 3. Gemini's new energy is our mirror exposes every fake connection around you. Gemini, do you know what the most fascinating thing is when someone truly changes? It's not that they become different. It's not that they become stronger. It's that their transformation forces the people around them to confront themselves. Exactly. When your energy shifts, you don't just change your own life. You unintentionally become a mirror that exposes every false intention, every hidden motive, every insecurity in the people standing next to you. And Gemini, you are becoming that mirror. Your new energy right now is something rare. It's not loud, not arrogant, not showy, but sharp, like a sudden change in the wind, sweeping away everything that isn't real, isn't clean, isn't sincere. You may not notice it immediately, but others do. When they stand next to you, they can no longer feel comfortable if they're hiding something. Their ambiguity, you see it. Their half-effort, you sense it. Their smallest dishonesty, you catch it. Their manipulative concern, you see it printed in bold. Not because you've become suspicious, not because you doubt everyone, but because your energy has become so clear, so clean, so awake, that anything fake becomes magnified in your eyes. This is the phase where even you might feel a little strange about yourself. Why is my intuition suddenly sharper? Why do I look at someone and instantly know if they're genuine or not? Why can't I tolerate half-hearted words anymore? Why can't I accept disrespect, even the subtle kind, when I used to let it slide? Gemini, it's because you are becoming a mirror of truth. And the thing is, not everyone is ready to see the truth about themselves. Some people will admire you. Some will feel inspired. But others will feel extremely uncomfortable. They feel uncomfortable because your energy reveals parts of themselves they don't want to acknowledge. They feel uncomfortable because they can no longer demand you sacrifice yourself for their comfort. They feel uncomfortable because your softness used to be something they relied on to soothe their ego. Now you stand tall, you're clear, you're no longer afraid to be firm, and that threatens them. So they react. Some avoid you. Some become passive-aggressive. Some cling to lines like, Gemini has changed. Gemini is so difficult now. Gemini isn't the same anymore. Some may even gossip about you behind your back. Not because you did anything wrong. Not because you hurt them. Not because you're being unkind. But because you are no longer playing the role of the one who can be easily used. They lost the benefits they once took from you. They lost the comfort you used to provide. They lost the version of you that always understood, always compromised, always let things go. So they react as if you're doing something terrible. when in reality, you're simply treating yourself with the respect you deserve. Gemini, my dear, this is one of the deepest lessons of awakening. When you stand up, those who grew comfortable with you sitting down will feel offended. But that does not mean you should sit back down. It does not mean you should shrink so someone else can feel safe. It does not mean you should silence yourself so others don't get triggered. You are not responsible for healing anyone's ego. You are only responsible for honoring your truth. And this moment right now is your initiation. To stand firm in your new energy. No over-explaining. No shrinking. No apologizing for who you are. No ignoring things that don't feel right. No dimming your light to make others comfortable. You are learning to say, "This is me, and I will not apologize for it." This is a rare kind of power, a rare kind of beauty, and you are stepping into it. Gemini, if you feel like you're becoming the mirror that makes people confront themselves, leave a comment. I reflect truth. And remember to subscribe so you can continue following this energetic journey, because the next parts go even deeper. Part 4. Gemini begins learning how to set boundaries and rebuild life from within. Gemini. There are certain phases in life when we are forced to pause, look deeply into ourselves, and realize that for a very long time, we've been living to make everyone else comfortable while forgetting our own feelings. And for you, that phase is beginning now. Not loud, not dramatic, but powerful enough that you can feel the shift spreading from inside your heart. You're beginning to ask yourself, why am I carrying everyone's emotional responsibility? Why do I always have to be the understanding one? Why do others get to cross lines, but I don't? And then you realize, there is no good reason for you to keep doing that. Gemini, you are stepping into a very special chapter, the chapter of learning how to set boundaries, soft but firm, kind but uncompromising, gentle but unbreakable. In the past, you were afraid of this. You were afraid of disappointing someone, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being seen as cold, afraid of losing connections, afraid of being left behind. But now, you see the truth. Holding on to others by losing yourself was never a form of love. Not love for them, and certainly not love for you. Gemini, let me say this slowly, clearly, deeply. When you set boundaries, you are not hurting anyone. You are simply stopping others from hurting you. That is why in this phase, you say no more naturally. You no longer feel guilty for choosing yourself. You stop trying to convince others to understand your feelings. You no longer seek approval. You no longer over-explain. You are becoming wiser. Not because your personality changed, but because you finally understand your worth. And here's the magical part. You know you don't have to prove your value, because you, just as you are already, are the value. As Gemini begins setting boundaries, a completely new energy starts forming around you, and everything in your life starts reorganizing itself in the most natural way. The genuine people stay because they see your true heart. The fake ones leave because there's nothing left for them to take. Draining relationships dissolve because you no longer feed them with silence. New opportunities arrive because your energy is clearer and stronger. New paths open, as if the universe whispers, "This is where you belong." You meet the right people, not by luck, but because you cleared out what didn't belong. All of this happens not because you're trying to change your life, but because you're changing your inner frequency, and the universe always responds to souls that respect themselves. Not everyone around you will understand this immediately. Some will think you're distant. Some will think you've become cold. Some will feel you're not as easy as before. Some may even feel hurt, simply because they were used to having unlimited access to you. But Gemini, you cannot keep living a life where every word you say, every decision you make, is built around protecting other people's feelings. You cannot keep bending your heart to match the wind. You cannot keep pouring into everyone's cup while yours is empty. Setting boundaries does not make you selfish. Setting boundaries makes you mature. This is the strongest spiritual awakening phase for Gemini. The phase where you understand that your inner world needs a new foundation, a stronger one, a truer one, and no one can build it for you. From here on, you will feel lighter, clearer, and stronger, because you are no longer living on borrowed energy. You are living from your truth. Gemini, if you feel your heart beginning to open in this way, leave a comment. I am ready. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. Part 5. The near future. Gemini will attract new connections and step into stronger self-alignment. Gemini, you've walked a long journey to understand yourself better, to see others more clearly, and to rebuild your life from the inside out. And the most beautiful part is, when your inner world shifts, the outer world is forced to shift with it. In the near future, you'll start noticing something very special, unfolding not loudly, not dramatically, but in ways so subtle, so aligned, so divinely timed, that you can feel the universe arranging things in even the smallest moments. Gemini, when you begin living in alignment with your true nature, you start attracting souls who vibrate at the same frequency, people who are not intimidated by your intelligence, not threatened by your freedom, not afraid of how deeply you can read into someone's mind. In fact, they appreciate it. They respect it. They need it. They enter your life like missing pieces you didn't even know you were still missing. You will meet people who treat you with unconditional sincerity. People who don't make you guess their intentions. People who don't require you to shrink so they can feel safe. People who don't see you as temporary. People who don't use your kindness as a way to access your emotions. These people appear not because you've become someone new, but because you've finally returned to your real self. Your energy right now has a very unique magnetism, not surface-level attraction, but soul-level pull, a clarity, a freedom, an intelligence, a raw honesty that people can feel even before you speak. And then you'll notice this. People who once didn't understand you now look at you differently, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because they can sense you're stepping into the strongest version of your life. Those who left you created a space, and now you see that the empty space was the room the universe needed to bring in what is truly meant for you. Their absence wasn't a loss. It was preparation. Those who approach you now are the ones who see your light, and they don't want to dim it, control it, or take it. They want to shine with you. They want to walk beside you, not pull you backward. They want to build, not destroy. The universe knows you've had enough of half-hearted connections. It knows you deserve people who truly understand your energy. It knows your heart has grown, has tired, has loved deeply, has lost deeply, and has learned enough. And now the season of restoration is arriving. Gemini, you will see your life shift in these powerful ways. 1. You gain clarity in your direction. No more confusion. No more wandering. Your intuition becomes your compass. You know what you want, and more importantly, what you do not want. 2. You become more magnetic, not because your appearance changed, but because your energy matured deeper, steadier, more mysterious, effortlessly confident. People feel drawn to you, not because you try, but because you're finally being yourself. 3. New opportunities flow toward you. Work, finances, connections, learning, growth. Doors that once stayed shut begin to open. Paths that felt blurry become illuminated. 4. You finally know who you are and what you deserve. After years of living for others' emotions, you're choosing yourself. You're no longer shaped by expectations. You're living from your soul. And that's when you become unstoppable. Gemini, this near-future shift is not a cliché promise. It is the natural result of coming home to yourself. When you live in truth, everything meant for you finds you. New connections genuine, deep, aligned. New opportunities expansive, abundant, meaningful. New versions of you stronger, wiser, freer. You are entering a beautiful chapter of your life. A chapter where you no longer ask permission to shine. You shine because you were born to. If you feel yourself stepping into a stronger version of who you are, leave a comment. I'm stepping into my power. Gemini, my dear, if you've made it all the way to the very end of this video, it proves that a part of you is finally ready to step into a stronger version of yourself. The journey you're walking is not easy, but it is the right one. And today's message isn't just about decoding your energy. It's about reminding you that you are not lost, you are not alone, and you have every right to live exactly as the universe designed you to. Not because your appearance changed, but because your energy matured deeper, steadier, more mysterious, effortlessly confident. People feel drawn to you, not because you try, but because you're finally being yourself. In every part of this journey, you've seen clearly. If you feel yourself stepping into a stronger version of who you are, leave a comment. I'm stepping into my power. Gemini, this near-future shift is not a cliché promise. It is the natural result of coming home to yourself. Never ask for permission to be who you truly are, because when you are real, life becomes real with you. When your energy changes, other people are forced to change the way they treat you. When you set boundaries, life reorganizes itself to fit who you're becoming. When you live in alignment with your true nature, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right direction. When you dare to be yourself, you become a mirror that makes others confront their own truth. I claim my new energy. If this video made you feel understood, energized, or simply seen, leave a short comment as a declaration to yourself that you are ready for the next chapter. I claim my new energy. And don't forget to subscribe, because this journey isn't meant to be walked alone. We'll continue side by side. Through every message, every sign, every moment, the universe whispers your name.